Greetings and welcome to our next session. Today we talk about our frame of mind, practices, routine, and faith. Faith which we understand as the relationship with God. We know very well our own thoughts, our own expectations, routines. When everything goes well, meaning the way we want, we are happy. We feel satisfied and everything is okay. But it's enough that one thing is against our expectations. It looks as if we becoming sad. Sort of a fear, sort of a misery comes into our life. The human nature is a dynamic, constant process of changing, growth, and stability. Look at our biology, our brain. It's a constant changing, progress, development. Look at the other parts of the body. It's a constant progress. We cannot, in our nature of growth and development, we cannot stop. We cannot, as grown-up people, stop at the level of a child or a young person. As a grown-up person, I cannot think the way the child thinks. I cannot feel and react to the environment and self the way the child reacts or the young person reacts. There's a growth. And the stability in our growth is precisely that nature. We grow, we grow ahead. There's no grow backwards, regress. We grow ahead. And that is the beauty of the nature. I know people who constantly looking for new ideas, who looking for learning about themselves and their lives. And what is the beauty about those people? They're happy. They're really happy. And there's that enthusiasm and joy in their lives. On the other side, we have people who at certain point say, okay, I have enough, I know enough, and I'm okay, fine. And the funny thing is, the more they say, the more they stop. There's that sort of a fear, anxiety, and misery. You remember that passage from the Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 19. God says to the people of Israel, I am giving you life and death, blessing and curse. And he says, choose life and you and your people will live. Oh, our way of thinking, practices, routine, they cannot stop. They cannot be dead. We cannot say at certain point, it's enough. It's against the nature of growth. We cannot exist. Existence is the area, perspective of life between birth and death. Existence is the territory where we focus mostly about ourselves, our happiness and comfort. And that is not faith. Faith is not limited to the perspective between birth and death. Faith is not limited in the perspective, I am looking for my own comfort and my own happiness. No, that's not faith. Faith is a dynamic process of growth. The intimacy with God, dynamic process of growth. You remember that passage from John, Gospel of John, chapter 20, verse 8. The disciples, they heard about the news, the empty tomb. And they didn't sit and began this intellectual deliberation, trying to figure out what is the meaning, to understand the resurrection. No, they just stood up and left everything, left their own old way of thinking, routines, and they go. They reach the tomb, they enter into the tomb, they look, and what they see? Nothing. And the funny thing is, they believe, and they believe. Bronfenbrenner, in his theory of human growth, he says that a person has two contexts, two environments of growth. The external environment, which is the family, peer group, school, the community of believers, which we cannot so much change. But there is another environment, the inner environment, meaning our own thoughts, feelings, action, and that's the environment we can change, we can interfere. I remember a person, and he says that he believes in God. I know that he practices faith, but at a certain point he says to me, I am not sure if there is any life after death. Look at the conflict. Look at the conflict in that person. Conflict between the faith and the frame of mind. The frame of mind is taking over the reality of faith, and that is something wrong. And Jesus says in the Gospel of John, chapter 3, verse 16, who believes in me has eternal life. And that is the faith. I believe in his words. The power of believing is rooted in the intimacy. I believe in his words, what he says, even though I don't understand. I wish to invite you for next our session, which will be about faith. I want to talk about in a deeper about faith. Greetings to all of you.